You can no longer look past them. You can no longer count them out. They are 3-time Super Bowl champions and have the greatest tight end to ever play the game. And not only league MVP, but 2-time Super Bowl quarterback. That's right. We are the Indiana Chiefs fans, and our favorite team is and always will be the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh,
With
yeah.
me, as always, is 3-time Pack Mule podcast favorite Chico Noise
Oh,
and the guy with a small PP, one-time podcasting host into his second season. It is Phil Jordan,
man.
the Chief. Gentlemen, welcome to Indiana Chiefs fans.
Was
Great to be here. Great I got back from our cannonball test run down to KC and back. So
Heading down a little bit early this year.
let me just tell you, I-70 has a lot of construction, Jeremy. So
Okay.
if you can make it to 72, that's the route I would go, because I took 70 down and then 3672 back, and man, it cost me an extra 45 minutes to an hour on I-70.
Oh, I believe. Yeah, I can understand that.
And
Good to know.
3672, I was clear the whole way.
I gotta figure out a good way to get to 72 from here.
Yeah.
Every time I've taken 72, it always runs me back through, like, I mean, these are some serious back roads, to get over there. And I want to find a more, I don't know, direct route. I mean, that's probably the direct route to get there, but something where I don't have to drive, in dirt roads and stuff like that. Because I mean, I was down some pretty sketchy roads when I was heading out to get to 72.
Yeah. Well, that was just my word of advice. And it's kind of funny when we head out on 94, the construction zone up here right before you get to Illinois. I'm driving, we're in traffic kind of, and there's construction on the other side. And I see this car just stalled, and they've siloed off this one lane, with 2 barricades on each side. Like you can't get to any exits, for 4 or 5 exits kind of deal.
Right.
I see this little black truck or SUV just stopped, and cars are slowly going around them. Someone's probably on their fucking phone, nailed the back end of it. Right as I'm looking, I'm like, oh, snap. Did you see that?
I happened to be on the phone with him at that very moment.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's right. I was talking to you.
You were.
So
All of a sudden, the phone went quiet there. Oh, shit. Did you see that?
So the irony behind it, here's the irony, is we're coming back and going that direction, and our lane's moving slow as the other ones are trucking along. Same thing happened. A car stalled. Another car hit it.
Jesus.
I don't get it, man. I was like, really? What are the chances? But
the problem
anyway.
with that is that you're in a construction zone, and more importantly, there are people out there working, and these idiots who you see run into cars and shit are running into people and shit. So people,
Yeah.
when you get in a construction zone, slow down, watch for those workers, because they're trying to get a job done. And you may be frustrated that they're doing all this, but that's their job. So slow down, keep alert, don't run over people, you listeners out there.
And the trip cost me an extra $350 to $400 yet to be determined in a construction zone. Rock versus windshield. Windshield lost. And it wasn't one of those little chips. As soon as it hit, it went to that wide.
Man.
I was like, son of a, but I'm not going to replace it till winter time, because I'm sure I might get 1 or 2 more.
You never know.
So
got several more trips coming out to KC. Speaking of, Gunner, you getting excited about your trip out to go see the Bears game?
Yeah, I'm getting very excited, but I think Coach is even more excited. So he's pumped. I'm pumped. I'm ready.
How many times a week does he come talk to you about it?
Oh, every day.
So that would
Sometimes
be
I go talk
5.
to him about it. Yeah.
Man, wait till the week of, the
Oh,
week
yeah.
of it. You guys will just be, chatty Cathy's.
Yeah. Well, I know.
But
It'll
that's
be fun.
exciting.
It'll
It's
be
exciting
fun.
for him.
Yeah. Speaking of, he wants his picture of him and Wolfie back so he can get it signed. And you have it. Yellow
Yeah,
envelope.
look at the blank look on his face. Yeah, it's probably with my microphones.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know. Which when I get home, I gotta find that shit. It's in that room somewhere. It fell out of the damn table. If not, you know what? I'll just order a whole nother set and then I'll find it as soon as I get it, no doubt. But nonetheless, I gotta find out what I did with that.
Yeah, find Rob's picture. He wants to take it with him so he can try to get it signed.
What's he gonna get it signed by Lamar? So
you never know.
I was talking with my mom in the car and she said the same thing. She was like, well, Lamar. I'm like, hon. I said, Mom, it's not Lamar. It's Clark. I've learned this the hard way 100 times. She's like, damn it. He's been dead for years. I'm like, yeah, God rest his soul. But yeah, she said the same thing on the trip out to the reservation.
Yeah, but she also took you to the wrong damn casino. So, I mean,
I know.
she has an excuse. You don't have an excuse.
Hold on. She wasn't in her right mind. We went to the wrong casino. But like I said, they walked away with money. They're happy. So
that's all good. Hey, okay, so in my opening, I did call Chico the pack mule, which according to Colton in this week's Call Guys episode, that's all Chico does is he's just a pack mule for this podcast. He is not. You didn't catch it in my intro or when he said it on the show?
In your intro. I know I heard it when he said it on the show.
Well, let me run over a couple things here because I took notes of all the shit that Colton talked about us on the Call Guys episode this week. For starters, we're not bandwagon fans. We never have been there, Colton.
No, Colton, I've been a fan since I was 8 years old.
I've been a fan for 30 years, which was a little more than 8 years old, but I want to talk all those lean years. I still wore my Kansas City Chiefs stuff very proudly. Even though people made fun of me every time the Colts beat us or the Bears beat us or everybody in the fucking league beat us at that point.
Except for 2 teams that year. I think they were charity wins.
Charity. Yeah, I think you're probably right. We don't talk about the Jones deal. We're done talking about the Jones deal over here. Whatever they work out, in Veach we trust. So that's just another thing. What else? Hold on. I got notes. I do have notes. I want to talk about your contract, which has now been extended to 10 years off that first original piece of paper. So, your contract is now 10 years long. So you better get to work and actually fulfill your contract and all obligations because I've actually written new stuff just on Colton's contract, which include a massage.
He's going to renegotiate.
Where I am completely naked. So,
massaging that back hair.
So 10 years on a rookie deal, buddy. That's all I have to say about that. Your contract is 10 years on a rookie deal. So get used to it. What else? I did want to say 2 more things. Maybe 3. Hold on. If you're gonna badmouth me and say keep my name out of your mouth is out of what he should have said, but he said
your name
keep
out
your
your
name
mouth.
out of your mouth. I'm not sure exactly what was going on there. He did get all excited, I think, and he just messed it all up. But
I think he was trying to pull a Travis Kelce.
He was trying to pull a Will Smith.
Well, because he also did it, Burrowhead,
Oh, yeah. Right on.
I don't want to hear that word out of your mouth again. Or something to that effect after the game.
Also, he asked a question about something about me. What did I watch cartoons when I was 16 years old?
Would you have watched something? I can't remember what it was.
No, Colton. I was too busy being a great singer and guitar player.
What, on Guitar Hero?
Hey, fuck you. I was a great guitar player at 16.
Well, Guitar Hero
Yeah.
wasn't out when you were 16. I think it was still Atari.
Yeah, pretty much. I was playing Pong or something at those days. And he talked about the oh shit, the what is it? The covers, or is that the name of the
Yeah.
band he's putting together, where you don't need a guitar player and a singer, you just need a section. I mean, I don't think it works that way. I think you actually need a singer and a guitar player to make a I
They're
mean,
gonna try to
give it a
use
try.
AI.
It's gonna
Let AI be the whole band.
and last but not least, Colton,
Suck
Vanilla
it.
Thunder. Vanilla Thunder. It's Martin Short. Martin Short, not Martin Sheen. Martin Short. Martin Sheen is like Charlie Sheen's dad.
Yeah, there's a big difference between those two.
Huge, huge. I mean,
Yeah.
he kept calling him Martin Sheen. I thought that was hilarious.
From which movie?
They were talking about that the
Only
new
Murders in the Building.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
that new show. You know why? You know why that works so well, Chico. Martin Short and
Steve Martin.
thank you. Wow.
Got you.
I can totally see his face. Steve Martin have worked together for forever,
Yeah.
the Three Amigos and just
Mm.
movies like that over the years. So that's why that works so well with
Oh,
doing
they
that.
do great. They do great
Yeah.
together in that show.
Yeah, I need to sit down and watch it. Need to get on it. But anyways, there's my Colton rant for this week's episode. Let's get on to what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Who watched the game? Well, you got the highlights, didn't you, Chico?
Yeah, the highlights that didn't have a single Chiefs highlight besides maybe one, and it was all Saints. And I was like, why am I watching this?
I did notice. Okay, so we had a thing for Trevor's birthday, and I didn't actually get to the game till the third quarter, second half.
Yeah.
And we did watch the entire second half, and then I actually taped it. I DVR'd it, and I have went back and watched the first half since then. But NFL Network was running it, and they were running it on the New Orleans Saints feed. So everything was about the Saints. There was very, very little talk about what was going on with the Chiefs at all, which, for those of us, and I understand why, because that's probably the big feed coming out of there, but still, for those of us that are Chiefs fans, we want to know about the rookies. We want to know about what's going on with that. So it made it tough to watch. You could almost just turn the fucking volume off and just watch the plays themselves, because that's pretty much what I did. I was watching the defensive players, had my tablet out with my roster, because so many new names, and
There's
it's
80
like, okay,
people on the team. So.
like they have two number 27s. Holy shit, which one was that? And you're trying to figure out which one was had made the play. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. It was an interesting game. Yes,
Well,
we did lose,
who
but
cares?
it's preseason. You got to try different things and to try to make things happen and see what players can do. And
Tell you what, as we were talking on the phone, the only play I didn't like was when Mahomes ran. I'm like, no, Mahomes, I get it, man. You're a competitor. It's preseason, dude. People are headhunting and looking for a name. Don't run again. That scared me. I was like, oh my gosh, he's really running in a preseason game. So that kind of gave my heart a little flutter when I saw him take off and run. So
he's a baller, man. All he wants to do is
I get
win.
Yeah, but I don't want them to win at the cost of losing the season, the
Right.
preseason game.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talk about that on the radio. Half the teams didn't play their starters at all. Half did. The pros and cons of each. Each has merit. I'm in favor. Don't get me wrong, of playing our starters. You ask any starter, veteran. What to say, veteran, not starter. Getting that first hit that's not practice speed gets you ready. You want to get that first hit or give that first hit, whatever, defense, offense. So I think it does make a difference in the first couple of games that your starters play, 1 or 2 series, and Reed's done it his whole career, and they even said that on the radio, Reed's one of the coaches that will always play his starters, for 1 or 2 series. So, and I think it's a good idea as well. Even the players think it is to get that first hit, that first tackle, that first quarterback sack, or Mahomes even said to get that first, hit in the midsection just to, okay, I'm back. So, but don't do anything stupid, Mahomes. Don't run. Throw the ball away.
Don't run.
I agree with you. I think they need to be out there playing to knock the rust off. I mean, I don't know about the whole entire team, but the media that we consume, a lot of Patrick and Travis out doing things all summer long, playing golf,
Yep.
going to this and doing that, the party gras and all the things that they've been doing, the karaoke thing that Travis did. Now it's time to get back to your day job and get the rust knocked off. And I think I talked to you about this on the phone the other day when we talked, that going into that game, watching the first Chiefs series,
Right.
the defensive Chiefs series, the defense looked absolutely horrible.
Yeah, they were not prepared for that game at all.
No. And I mean, Kamara was ran through him like butter, like a hot knife through butter, zip, 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 and he was gone. Derek Carr looked sharp, man, throwing some bullets out there. And, maybe that's what Derek Carr needed, was a place to go that might actually appreciate him for the quarterback that he is. But
it's preseason. He's going to suck.
he looked pretty good in that first series, but
No, I agree with you. I actually think he's gonna make that franchise better. So
I hope so for him, man. I've always actually really liked Derek Carr, even though he was a Raider. I always thought he was a really good quarterback.
is that because he wears eyeliner?
Exactly.
Helps him see better.
I still have questions about that.
It helps him see better.
I mean, it's the same as eye black. It just takes away some of the reflection.
Well, usually they put a big stripe, but every time I see him and they zoom in, he's got the eyeliner on, or it looks like it. I don't know.
Maybe he just wants to look pretty.
Maybe sunshine. But nonetheless, yeah, I think he's going to make them better. And, unfortunately, Kamara's been sidelined, I think, for some violation. I don't remember what it was for the first.
Yeah, for 3 games. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's 3. So should be interesting.
Yes.
With no, running threat, how they're going to fare. Not that we want to talk about New Orleans, but
right. But
on a side note,
just after watching, their first team in that first series, and it was like, they look good, and more power to them. I hope that they do well. It's not like we're going to play them again in the regular season. I mean, possibly the next time we see them is in, the Super Bowl. So.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a hoot?
Yeah.
Well, Derek Carr taking New Orleans in his first season to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and plays against the Chiefs, his old rival.
Yeah.
So that would be a hoot. But yeah, I was, I think the defense, like you said, and everybody in Chiefs Kingdom said, they're blaming it on one person. No, that's not the reason why our defense sucked. So, they just didn't play well.
No, they were, like I said, knocking the rust off. Let's see what they look like again next week.
Yeah,
That's
well,
this is what
everyone's
preseason's all about, is getting out there and
yeah,
getting through the motions and the reps
yep.
and doing all that. But
Well, everyone's talking about, Chris Jones not being there. That's why they look so bad. No, one player doesn't make the entire defense. Sorry.
right.
And
So
the
did you
offense, I was happy that, we went out there, we did some situational football, especially on the 4th down and 1. That was kind of, I think both sides of the football, the New Orleans defense and the Kansas City offense, that's what preseason's about, especially when you get the ones and is situational football. Granted, we didn't get the first down, but, it was, you're going to see, a lot of 4th and 1s again this year. So.
I don't know that I'm awestruck on Gabbert though.
No.
There's just I don't know. It just didn't like I said, once we get into let's get another preseason game in this coming weekend, and I'm sure he'll take a few more reps than Bouchel will, but Bouchel looked really good again this year. I mean, he just he had a couple moments, don't get me wrong, but all in all, I thought he looked really, really good back there. Drove him down. What did he end up with? 2 touchdowns, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the late pick.
Well, there was a late pick. I mean, yeah. At least he
I
didn't
mean,
throw it. At least he didn't throw it to a defensive lineman.
Right in front of him.
but oh my god, that was so horrible. And man, I was listening to radio and they're like, well, now they know how to scope out the Chiefs. I'm like, seriously, this person on the radio. I'm like, dude, it's a preseason game. It's a 3rd string quarterback. It's, all these different things are going through my head as they're talking about, it's a copycat league. So every time they throw a screen pass, they know what to do. Yeah. Well, guess what? It ain't Mahomes. No. It ain't Kelsey. It ain't, our normal boys out there. So I was just cracking up. They're like, now they got a footprint on how to handle that play. I was dying. I was like, dude, it's like last minute of preseason game. You got every 4th stringer in there you can think of.
Yeah, we're talking about the 4th string quarterback, for God's sake. I mean,
no, it was just funny the way they were talking about it on NFL Network. So,
well, there you go. It's NFL Network. Chico, tell me your give and takes on what you got to see. I know you said that it was more Saints than it was Chiefs, but hit me up. What did you take away from what you saw?
I think everything I saw was pretty much turnovers on our end. But like you guys said, I mean, it was our 2nd and 3rd string quarterbacks that threw the picks. What did Pat have? Like 2 sets of downs or just 1 set?
He was 2 for 2 for 15 yards. I think he only ran. Yeah, I think he only ran one
series.
One series. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and he ran 1 for first down, and I'm still not happy about that.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't get to see a whole lot. I was looking at the stats here. There's not really a whole lot here and there's a lot of names I don't. There's a lot of new names on this list. So.
Well, let's pick one. Let's talk about one.
Deneric Prince.
All right, let's talk about Deneric Prince. He is a running back. He is I do believe an undrafted.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Undrafted.
Yeah, undrafted rookie. Big hype about him in training camp. And I don't know. Did you get a chance to see him at all in any of that stuff? He did not look explosive whatsoever. He went 4 for 14 yards with an average of 3.5 yards. And with all the hype that have been around him, I don't think it came through in that first preseason game. From what I saw. And I was looking for him. I was looking for him. I was looking for Rice. I was looking for Nick Jones, which if you haven't heard, Nick Jones did fracture 2 fingers in that game. We're still waiting to see if it's going to take surgery or whether they can just cast him up and whether he can be able to play then after that. So
yeah, we supposed that appointment was today.
Right on. So maybe we'll know something more, a little bit more tomorrow. So all right, Chico, give me another name. Let's talk.
Nico Remigio.
Nico Remigio. Dude, that fucker was badass in that game. Not 100%. I know I saw a couple drops that he had, but man, he was a workhorse out there. He was what do you get? Four passes for 71 yards. He was looking good. I don't know. He is an undrafted free agent too. I do believe that I looked that up, and he is undrafted.
Okay.
However, I did hear that he got carted off on the practice field today, Tuesday, whatever August 15th. So I don't know the severity. It was just a quick thing that said that there was like 2 or 3 wide receivers that were carted off practice field today. So
Yep. Justin Ross, Nico, and Amir Smith.
there you go. So yeah, Amir is Amir is somebody that we haven't even talked about at all.
Yeah.
He did play this weekend. He was one for 2 yards, so I mean, he wasn't like he didn't get a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, and I'll finish it up, pass catchers, Fortson is now on the IR.
Yes.
Was a fourth one, actually.
Yeah, something about was it shoulder, or was it shoulder surgery or something? Trying to remember.
Yeah, he's gonna go in and what was it? I can't remember what it was now, but yeah. Poor guy. He keeps spending his, roster time on the IR. So
I know. Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad, but that will open up a spot for Bushman, if he can hold on to it and stay healthy himself.
yeah,
So
let's get the injury bug early and done.
Yep, exactly. Richie James, Gunner, have you heard of him?
No.
He is
No.
another wide receiver. I do believe that came from the Giants.
Yep.
I do believe that's where he came from. He's kind of that wide receiver that's kind of fallen name wise down the list because of everybody coming in with Rice and Sky Moore getting all the work that he's been getting. But man, there seems to be a connection between him and Mahomes. There seems to be working something out. He did score a touchdown on a beautiful catch.
Yeah.
And man, he may be our next Juju. You know what I'm saying? If Tony can't get back, then we have James, and I think we're going to be just fine with that dude because he is a workhorse and he looked real good in that preseason game. Even working with the 2s and the 3s on the quarterback side. So super excited about that.
Yeah.
Boy, it went dead quiet.
No, sorry, I'm reading names. Amir Smith Marset.
That's the one that went off today, hurt.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't really see much of him. I did see him on the field. But like I said, he had 1 reception for 2 yards. Basically, everything else was just a workhorse type thing. He was just out there running routes but yeah, I don't see him being I think he's a practice squad guy. Hopefully he's okay. I don't know what happened to him. Did your report show what those guys went out with, Phil?
No, they said they didn't comment on it, but they were all saying it was minor stuff.
Oh, right on. Good deal.
That's according to what Andy Reid said, from what he knows, it's minor.
Right on.
Except for Jody, of course.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's that right up front, that's surgery, that's IR for the rest of the season. So,
yep.
Oh, there was another guy I wanted to bring up besides Nico, and I can't for the life of me figure out which one it was, but it's interesting to see all these guys out there playing, doing their thing. They ran a lot of different kick returners, Prince and James and Richie James. Nico took a run. Well, there you go. Amir took one. Got 6 yards. Sorry, buddy. Prince for 36 on 2. James took 1 for 31, and Nico took 1 for 21. So I'm betting that it's probably a good call that Sky Moore won't be back there returning punts. Gunner, Harrison Bucker went 1 for 1. He is 100% right now. So boom. I thought about you when he made that, and I was watching it. It's like, well, he's already on a good start. So
Not regular season yet.
But yeah, I mean, it is preseason. It is what it is, and I just, man, the defense, the first team defense just looked flat, and I hope they can figure it out, and Spagnuolo can get them working. Like I said, it is preseason. It is what it is, and I'll be pretty excited to see that first game in Arrowhead against Detroit, because Detroit's not a slouch team. I mean, you know, we make fun of them because they really haven't done a whole lot over the last few years, but they've always been a competitive team. And, you know, the last couple of years, they've kind of started to pick up. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on.
Yeah. I mean, as we, every week, we're going to start seeing, from what I was Googling around, on roster cuts, they used to do most of it after week 3, but looks like, they're trying to, let 5 people go, like, week 1, 5 people go week 2. And then
trying to narrow it down a little bit before they have to make that final 53-man roster.
Yeah.
Because that's coming up quick, is it not? When is the date for that?
29th, August 29th.
Oh, that's like a week and a half away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
they won't have the 53 before they go into the final preseason game, will they?
No, the final preseason game will be done before then. That's Tuesday, August 29th. Regular season starts, September 7th. So,
okay.
But yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 53 players, 16 practice squad. And we have approximately $758,000 to spend on anyone that gets released at this point. So if you look at over the cap, we're second to last in free money at this point. So just as a heads up.
Listen, man, honestly, let's get the Jones deal done. Whatever they're gonna do, and we don't really need anybody else. We have got a good, solid team. We've got a good, solid depth. I don't see why we'd want to run out and pick up somebody else anyway. So just take that salary cap money that we have left over, stick it in your back pocket, and let's buy everybody fucking hot dogs.
You're gonna say, far 750,000 is gonna go enough very far and
not very far in NFL land, but in my house it would go a long way.
Yeah, I think that would pay one active player the minimum salary. Something like that. I think it's 750,000 if you're active is a minimum pay. Maybe it's a little bit higher this year. I don't know.
I just don't worry about it. Just stick it back and like I said, buy hot dogs for everybody, and let's get on with the season and make this happen. And I'm excited. I'm excited for regular season football. It was fun to watch them. It was fun to watch the preseason game the other night. I was into it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm ready for some regular season. So
well, the 19th, our game is the late game, so which is this Saturday. It's gonna be on NBC.
Oh, so it'll be televised.
So. Yep.
What loser? I mean, who are we playing?
Cards. Cards.
Let's take a minute. Let's talk about that. So we just played New Orleans. We just played the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans at the what is it? The Mercedes Superdome. Which is that's funny. So this week we head out to State Farm Field, I do believe, right out in Arizona to the Arizona Cardinals. Once again, we are back in Arizona, and how concerned, or have you even thought about it, are you with
about the
that
field.
field? Yeah.
I'm assuming they
Well,
fixed it by now.
hopefully they fired whoever was in charge of that. I mean, hell, it's been 200 degrees in Arizona, so hopefully that means you can't overwater the field. And if you do, just leave it out an extra half hour, before it turns brown.
There you go. Pull it
So,
back in.
And for all the Philly players, quit your whining about the field.
Well, and my concern is that Butker went down first
Yeah.
game of last year,
week one.
week one with the ankle injury because of that field. And
but how badass was it? Shit, I just lost
when
the
Justin
name.
Reed come in and started kicking field goals, there's no doubt. But
Come on,
Justin Reed didn't kick field goals the rest of the year. They brought in other kickers, and they weren't as good as Butker. And when Butker came back, and I love Butker, don't get me wrong, but
it took him a while.
it took him a minute to get back in that mental state of it, I do believe.
Why didn't we teach Goldilocks how to do field goals?
Who's Goldilocks?
Townsend.
Oh, Jesus! He's not a blonde-haired guy.
Oh,
Threw
he's
me
got
off.
long, but he's got the long hair.
Yeah,
from
just
from
call
the,
him Fabio or something.
that
We
always
used
blows
to
me
have a
away. It's like
Goldilocks.
Do I?
it was.
We used to
what?
have a Goldilocks. We called him Goldilocks. Who was that?
All I can think of is
Went to
the
play
guy
the
that played for Green
Jeopardy.
Bay. Uh, damn it! What was the guy that played in Green Bay? Was it Hawk or?
I don't know. Someone will Google it. I see he's already on it.
He's on it. Look at him go. He's a typing fool.
But yeah,
I'll
anyway,
figure it out.
I always
Okay.
thought it was funny that punters can't kick field goals. They get the leg.
Yeah,
So
I don't understand that.
yeah, I mean that would be my first choice for a backup versus our safety. But man, you got a PAT and a field goal, and then he went wide right or something on the next kick or something.
Yeah,
But
he
man,
did.
someone posted that like I don't know about a month ago. Said remember when that happened? I was like, man, that was just so epic.
Like it was so long ago.
Well, because if you remember in preseason last year, they told Justin Reed, hey, if you make this 60-yarder or 65-yard field goal, we'll let everyone go home early from practice. Dude, he nailed it.
Yeah.
And everyone's on the sidelines like, yes, we're going in.
We're done.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So, and by the way, do you know that you're able to carry, did we talk about that already? 3 quarterbacks.
Yes.
And it does not count against your 53-man roster.
Right.
So I couldn't remember if we mentioned that.
Well, I think we talked about it briefly, but it wasn't something that we got into.
So we're probably going to have those 2 quarterbacks, one emergency, obviously one active. Well, they're both active, but
right.
So,
but it doesn't go towards your 53-man roster. Can he dress and go on the field then during the game?
Yeah, he's dressed and ready. Basically, and I hate to be, NFL world, why they did it. What happened to the 49ers last year in the playoff game. It's all about ratings and money, man. That's what it's about. To make a competitive football game by having that third string quarterback. But I'm going to be honest, there's not many third string quarterbacks that are going to be able to perform, at the level of your first and second level or first and second string, unless you're spending a lot of money. But, I know why they did it. But you know what?
But pump the brakes on that real quick, because I do believe that it was their third or their fourth string quarterback that came in and actually got them into the playoffs with Brock Purdy.
Well,
he was not a one or
no,
two.
he was second string, I think. I'm pretty sure. Because that week Galafo got hurt and then the backup came in. Then the next week was when he was elevated and then he became primary.
Yeah, so but I'm saying going into the season he wasn't a one or two.
Yeah, he was a rookie, And just think of it this way: if Mahomes would have stepped in, year one, I think he would have been just like Brock Purdy,
Right.
throwing haymakers.
Well, what is it? I don't even know what the San Francisco is. It? I want to say Trey Love, but I don't think that's right.
I can't remember their second stringer. He didn't play long enough for me to remember.
Well, Garoppolo was number 2. This was their starter that they're going to be coming back with this year.
I don't remember.
I don't either, but you got Garoppolo's now in Oakland, or not Oakland. Oopsie, still doing it. In Las Vegas. He's now a Raider, and so it'll be interesting to see what San Francisco does and what their lineup is. Hopefully, Purdy gets to be number 1, number 2. I would assume number 2 because they spent a lot of money on that other guy to get to get him. Is it Trey Lance?
Yep.
There you go.
But
it's Love in Green Bay, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But there might not be any love in Green Bay.
There's not going to be any love in Green Bay.
I talked to some of the Packers fans; they're not happy, but whatever.
Hey.
An interesting story from the weekend: someone was when they were just going out on a blind date, the first question the gentleman asked was, "Are you a Raiders fan?" And she said no, and he said, "Okay, then we can continue the date, because if you were, I was just going to leave."
These are important things to know before you go on the first date.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, "I don't want a house divided by that."
No, that's not a fun divide.
And he said, "I was serious. If she was a Raider fan, I was going to walk out."
Gunnar, did you figure out who Goldilocks was?
Nope.
Oh, you didn't Google it?
I did. Couldn't find anything.
Okay. So anyway, back to 53 or 54 man rosters.
54, yeah. So that comes up on what do you say, the 29th of August. So we'll be looking forward to talking about that. We'll talk about it the day it comes out, because we'll record a pod that night. But I'm super interested to see what they're going to do, because they have a lot of things to try to work out, especially in the wide receiver core, in the running back core. So it'll be fun to see. Allaire looked actually relatively good in his opening. I mean, they went straight up 4 plays all to Allaire. He looked relatively good. Noah Gray looked, once again, he only had 1, but he still looked good. And so they got a wide receiving core they got to figure out, and a running back duo they need to figure out. And I'm glad I'm not the one that has to figure that out, because those guys are way smarter than I am, let me tell you. And we're on to Arizona this week, which I don't even know. Do you start your starters in that? Because, I mean, I think our third string could play against their first string now.
No. I'm sure they're going to play. The third game they won't.
Now, see, I've heard opposite of that. I heard in the third game that they actually anticipate Mahomes to play the first half.
No,
against
not the third game. That's what I heard, but I could be wrong.
Like I said, that's just what I heard, that they anticipate him playing the first half. Obviously, we're listening to two different podcasts.
Yeah.
I honestly, I kind of hope he plays a little bit more in that third game, because well, your boys and girls club tickets, people will get to go, and the tickets that I gave away, and they'll get to go actually see some starters play, instead of just all of the 4-string players play in that third game. So
again, you got to think of it also, this is the last chance for those people on the roster to make their last impression. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna place a beer wager, Jeremy. 1 beer Mahomes does not start. for the third game.
You don't think he'll start at all?
No.
I'll bet you a beer on that.
Okay.
He will start. Now, how long he plays, I don't really know, but I think he'll start.
I don't think so.
All right.
Watch just one snap.
It's all it takes is one snap, one
Damn
start, one snap. That's all it takes. Andy Reid's he likes to get his players out there and play. I don't think it's wise. I understand the idea of what you're saying, that you don't want your starters on the field for a preseason game while there's still guys trying to prove themselves. I totally understand what you're saying there. You know, there's no doubting that. But Andy likes to keep his players playing and not sitting. I mean, they don't really take the last week off if they're that far ahead and going to the playoffs and all that. They kind of play them out. And Mahomes is a baller, man. He wants to get out and play. So I don't think he'll sit around being like, I'm not playing. I think he's going to want to get out there and continue to work with his new receivers and his new line. And so yeah, one beer on the line for will Mahomes start in the third preseason game.
You know, a smart thing for them to do would be let him call the plays with his backups in there. Let him teach them what he would be doing during these situations.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't hide the knowledge, train for the next go around. Although we've got him for 10 years, so it'll be all good.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood, yeah.
Healthy Mahomes.
There we go.
Healthy Mahomes.
So last year, I'm trying to see if he played, but leading up to the day before the game, he still hadn't made up his mind if Mahomes would play.
Well, that's Andy for you, man. He likes to, get out there and, I don't remember. I thought he did play last year, but.
Well, I'll look one more spot because it'll be in the stats from last year, 2022 stats.
Yeah.
I'm a Googling.
Google.
He's a Googling man.
Until then, Gunner, what else you got going on? Do we get any emails or anything? I didn't even get a chance to check the emails.
I didn't even look, to be honest with you. I don't have my phone on me, so I'll let you check that. But not a whole lot. I'm just excited to actually be able to get to watch the game this weekend since it's going to be later in the evening, and we'll just be kind of relaxing and be all good.
Yes, big weekend. You got a lot of family coming into town.
Yep.
Super excited to see everybody, and then late. You say it's a late Saturday game or Sunday game?
8 p.m.
on Saturday.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be chilling in my chair, sitting back watching that, taking some notes.
Yeah,
I'll be drinking.
We gonna watch the game?
Drinking.
Gonna watch the game?
Of course.
Okay.
He's still searching for those stats.
I am.
That's gonna bug the shit out of him now.
I almost found it, I think.
You almost found it. How do you almost find it on the internet?
It's still
That's porn. That's porn.
I can see the reflection in your glasses. You're watching porn.
It's still loading. Now I got to the stats page.
Is that watching? Midget porn?
What are you watching over there?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Porn is midget porn.
All right. So last year,
yeah,
he did not start.
He did not start at all last year.
No, it was Shane Burchell and Dustin Crum.
Dustin Crum?
Well,
do I remember him?
He went 1 for 11 yards.
Hey, that's good.
Shane Burchell
100%.
went 11 for 17 for 166 and 2 touchdowns, and no Mahomes.
Right on. All right. That'll work.
So I get a beer most likely coming my way.
Hey.
Unless he did start and just did one run play and then put him on the.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't look through. I just looked at, normal stats. Although if you have NFL replay, you can go back and watch the game and let us know.
Oh.
I just want to make sure I was getting my beer, Saturday. Well, I have to wait for it till next weekend, but
You'll have to wait for it until we're
Labor
in
Day.
Labor Day weekend. Yeah. And you know what? I am going to go find you a white labeled can that says beer. And then you have to drink it.
Thinking like a foo-foo drink.
I might as well
And
just
wrap
go
it,
get it.
pour it in a Miller Lite can so it looks like a Miller.
Man,
Here, I already opened this for you.
Oh, thanks. It's not closed with a proper label. It ain't happening.
Hey, beer is beer.
I just smell like pee.
Lamar!
The beer has to be a premium beer, and it can't
No. That was not subjected in the beginning of this bet.
Just bring in the hoppiest craft beer you can find.
Oh.
We know he loves his hoppy
Oh,
craft
you know
beer.
what he needs? He needs
Don't worry.
dragon's milk.
Hey, I'll go find him a 15.8, 16 type beer that once you drink one, Jeremy, you'll be like, I'm out.
Dude, that's a Coors Light for me anymore. What are you talking about?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Go
Drink
get
one of those. I'm like, I'm done. I'm out.
Well, I'm saying go get one that's got a 15 to 16% alcohol content and just hide it.
There you go. Just hide it.
Make him chase the golf cart down there.
I'll be making the noise.
Why is Jeremy tied up? Because he went a little crazy.
Because that's the way he likes to play. Anyway, all right. Preseason game number 1 is over. Looking forward to number 2. Looking forward to seeing some of these rookies get back out there again.
You're looking forward to number 2.
I'm looking forward to number 2. It will make
Makes
me
him cry.
I know. I just made me laugh too much.
Don't you ever look forward to a number 2?
No.
Yeah, after that T-Bell run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or after a nice Culver's Butterburger. Oh,
Sliders.
Dropping some
Royale with cheese.
That is a tasty burger. You mind if I have a bite of that?
All right, you guys have.
Oh no, that was a Big Kahuna burger. Never mind.
The Big Kahuna.
Yeah, in Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
that is a tasty burger.
Once they shoved that needle in her heart, I was done. So yeah,
that happened way early in the movie.
Yeah, I know. After that, I was done. I said I ain't watching this.
Are you serious?
Yep. Did not. You never saw the end? Did not enjoy that movie.
It's a movie. Yeah. It's not real.
It's still like watching the opening scenes of Final Destination. It's just miserable. Can't even watch it anymore.
Look at Jeremy. I mean, not Jeremy.
Look at Gunner. He's like, you guys are.
He's like, shut up.
Hey, anything else you guys want to add about this last week's game?
It was boring to watch because I'm ready for week 1.
Chico?
Didn't watch it, so no, I'm good.
Well, I enjoyed it because I like to watch these young players and just wait to see what they can do. And, I like to be able to say, yeah, I remember him. He looked really good in preseason and he's going to have, a good year.
Well, I think we all agreed on who we think's going to be the standout this year.
He looked good in that game too. So I'm super excited to see what he'll do during a regular season team, team 1 against team 1. So,
and you got to think back to last year, when training camp, Pacheco was all the noise, right? True. In training camp, and he came out like, balls out, once he got his chance.
Yeah. Once he got the finally chance to play, I mean, I think Rice is going to be, I think he'll be a starter day 1. I can't see him setting the sidelines behind those other guys for too long. So,
especially with, if, crap, you tell my brain's fried today.
Fortson?
Oh, well, whatever. My brain's fried. With everybody getting hurt and injured and out, there's
Yeah.
a high probability, regardless, that he'll start, and I think he'll remain a starter throughout, most likely.
I hope so. I hope we get a good draft pick on him. He turns out to be a superstar. So be exciting to see. Be exciting to just watch him. So, all right, guys. Well, let's get on out of here. Let's do it again next week. What do you say? He's got the
Sounds
big
good.
kahuna.
The Kahuna Burger. So
All
what
right.
you got to do, Gunner, is do an episode on Pulp Fiction and invite your dad, because after the needle, he has no clue what happened.
Have you guys even seen Pulp Fiction?
Oh, it's been a while.
Right on.
I've seen it many times. Oh, don't be a square. Anyway, that's right before the overdose.
Gonna get him out of the house. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I was out, dude. Karen left this campground for the first time in 4 months.
Poor girl. Poor girl. She had to go home.
Yeah, she said it was weird.
I'm sure it was.
But anyway,
All right.
let's rock and roll.
All right, guys, from our little slice of Chiefs Kingdom right here in the great state of Indiana, just got one question for you. How about those Chiefs? Later.
Thank you for listening to the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Podbean, any of your favorite podcast sites. Be sure to watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. Also, check us out on Facebook for any updates on the Chiefs and all of our weekly posts. You can find us at facebook.com/INChiefsFansPod. Finally, go check out our Golden Mojo Entertainment website at goldenmojoent.com. You can find information about your 3 favorite hosts and all the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment family. Those podcasts include The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, The United States of Paranormal, The Golden 80s Podcast, The Murdnerds, and A Court of Books and Booze. Thank you for tuning in, and how about those Chiefs?